It is just after 1600 GMT, 11 a.m. in Washington, and that's where President Joe Biden has officially welcomed French President Emmanuel Macron on his first state visit since Biden took office. The leaders are expected to discuss the war in Ukraine and China and Iran, but France will also raise concerns about Joe Biden's climate and infrastructure bill. Earlier, Macron criticized subsidies in the bill, saying that they are, quote, super aggressive towards European companies. Let's go to our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett. Kimberly, you are going to spend the entire day watching the pomp and the pageantry because that is the nature of state visits. What has stood out to you so far?
Well, what stood out is the fact that the White House is really trying to focus on the fact that this is an important visit and highlighting the importance of the relationship. And so the red carpet has been rolled out. The gifts have been exchanged. And there really is an elaborate ceremony that has been taken place that it really is highlighting the importance of the relationship that goes back throughout history. And this is something that has been underscored by both leaders. The U.S. president saying that this is one of America's oldest allies, an unwavering partner, saying that the flame of liberty is essential for our mutual defense, and also that Emmanuel Macron is underscoring that the United States is an essential partner when it comes to France, saying that now that war has returned to the European soil, that the partnership is once again integral to the security, saying that there is a need for the United States and France to be brothers in arms once more. So while there is a tremendous symbolism in terms of the pomp and the pageantry, there also is a very serious tone to all of this in the fact that this is very much a relationship that is bonded in security as well.
When do they get to the harder conversations, right? The ones that take place behind closed doors, and this year it might be about subsidies. Macron has not been shy about saying they help the U.S., but they hurt Europe.
Yeah, that difficult conversation is taking place as we speak. And you're right. There has been some very blunt criticism coming from the French president almost immediately when he touched down. He said that a signature policy of this President Joe Biden, something known as the Inflation Reduction Act, in the words of Emmanuel Macron, is something that could fragment the West. What he's talking about are some subsidies, essentially, and green energy that is tucked into the Inflation Reduction Act that essentially are billions of dollars that will ensure that not only are these green energy technologies going to take place, but that a lot of it will be made in America. And the fear for many European nations is that this looks a lot like protectionism. This looks a lot like this could ignite a trade war. And so this is a very big concern. And this is something that needs to be worked out. And this is something that the European nations want to try and combat against. So this is a very big deal. And it also comes on the heels of a bit of a diplomatic uproar that took place very early on in Joe Biden's presidency, and that is the rift that took place when Australia blindsided France buying nuclear-powered submarines from the United States instead of from France, a deal that really was something that blindsided the French president. So there are a bit of some uncomfortable moments that took place then and are taking place now, as we say, behind closed doors. But again, for the cameras, it is very much smiles and pomp and pageantry, something that will be culminated at the end of the day with a very formal state dinner.
All right, Kimberly from the White House, thank you so much. We'll check in again with you next hour, see what you've been able to glean, perhaps, from what's going on behind those closed doors. Thank you.